Miracle Maker, and welcome to Transformation Tuesday. The week is moving along, whether we're ready for it or not. So, we may as well get it started with the right mindset and ready to win the day. If we win each day, we win the week, eventually the month, the year, and before you know it, you are winning at life. And true transformation starts right here. It starts in the mind. So today, instead of talking about the concept of transformation, instead of really talking about what it means, we all know that we're talking about change when we talk about transformation. I really wanted to focus on our mindset, just like we did yesterday. But today, talk about some ways that when things are not going as you would like them to, from the perspective of your mindset, what can you do about it? What are some of the things that you can do? So I think it's 5 steps, got kind of a 5-step process to help you tap into what's going on internally and then start to move things away from the negative self messaging towards something that's going to get you where it is you would like to go. It's going to help you get out of your way so that you are working with yourself, that you're cheering yourself on, that you're your own best advocate. Good morning, Alicia. You are your own best advocate and you are moving towards the life that you desire. Those inner voices, that inner messaging that's on autopilot, for the most of us, it's not telling us what it is we need to hear in order to be successful. It's bringing up fears, it's bringing up anxiety and concerns and things that keep us from acting, things that hold us back instead of moving us towards our goals. So today I thought we would dig into it just a little bit more and really look at what do you do about it? What are some steps that you can take so that when you realize that inner messaging is in the way, you can take control of that voice and start to transform it. I've got a class, and I know Kim has taken it, and I think Alicia has started it as well, called Transforming Your Inner Critic into Your Inner Advocate. It's a free online course. I encourage you to take it because it really walks you through the concepts and helps you to really tap in and hear and feel the things that you're saying and feeling about yourself. And that's just the beginning. Once you're aware of it, then you've got some work to do. You've got to reframe that thing so that it gets out of your way and helps you propel towards your goals. So the first thing that you have to do is acknowledge what you're hearing, what you're feeling, what it is that you're saying about yourself. And that's a hard step for most people, because when we hear something negative, we feel something negative, we just want to squash it. We want to press it down. We want to pretend like it's not there. And what I'm asking you today to do is to really lean into it, really hear it, feel it, acknowledge it, so that you can tap into what you're really feeling and how you're feeling about yourself. Because once you do that, I'll take you back to the metaphor, I think it was yesterday that I used. You go to the mall, you're trying to find this store that's new and you have no idea how to get there. So the first thing you do is you go to the directory and you look at that directory and you look for the store that you want to see, you want to get to. And then you have to find that star that says you are here. And why is that important? Because the starting point in a journey is just as important as the destination. If you're vague about your starting point, if you don't really know where you are, then you're not in a position to plot a good course, an efficient course to where it is you're trying to get. So knowing that something is negatively playing in your head, don't beat yourself up about that. Acknowledge it, hear it, put your star right there. I am here. Okay, here's what I'm working with. Now you're in position to roll up your sleeves and get busy and actually do that work. The second thing you want to do is to thank it. And I know that sounds weird, but our inner voice was created for a reason. And mostly it is a safety mechanism. It is trying to keep you safe. It is trying to make sure that you don't venture into a place that's dangerous or unhealthy or where you could possibly get hurt physically or emotionally. We don't like our feelings hurt, just like we don't like to have an injury. That's an emotional injury. So those fears come from a life where things didn't go as you planned and something bad happened. Somebody made fun of you. Somebody told you you couldn't do it. Somebody said you don't have the skills or you're not deserving. And sometimes they didn't really say that, but the younger you took what it was you were experiencing and connected those things together. Because this bad thing happened and that bad thing happened, there must be something wrong with me. Or because this person was giving more accolades and claps and cheers than I was, then that person must be better. The world thinks that person's better than me. Those are the inner voices that you created to make sense of what was happening in your life when you were a little person. And if we're not careful, those little person emotions continue to drive us well into our adulthood. And it makes us make decisions that are not necessarily the right decisions for us because they're not well thought out, well planned decisions. They're emotional decisions that are trying to make that bad feeling go away. So realize that your inner voice is not your enemy. So it's not something that you have to be angry with, fight. I heard people, I wrestled my inner voice into submission. It's not an adversarial thing. Your inner voice was created for a reason, primarily to protect you. So acknowledge that. I hear what you're saying and I appreciate you trying to protect me, but then you reassure it. I am okay. I'm safe. I'm not a little girl anymore. I'm able to take care of myself. I trust my decision making. I'm in a good place. The things the reason I needed you was because of this. That situation doesn't exist anymore. You want to have those conversations with yourself. I tell people all the time, get comfortable talking to you. Get comfortable talking to yourself because you have the ability to speak life over yourself, speak positivity to yourself, about yourself, over yourself. And the more comfortable you are doing that, the better life you can create for yourself. Our words are so very powerful, so powerful. And so the sooner we get comfortable with that fact and we actually know it, the more control we have over our lives and our emotional well-being. We say things all the time, some things out of habit, and we don't realize that we're speaking that type of energy into our lives. If you tell yourself, oh, I never get anything right. I'm not as smart as this person or that person. I'm smart, but the world is just hard on me. It never gives me a chance. Nothing but bad stuff comes my way. You are speaking that type of existence into your life. So when you're hearing those types of voices, remember, first you want to acknowledge the fact that it's there. Acknowledge it. I hear this. This is my starting point. This is where my work begins. After you acknowledge it, go ahead and thank it. I understand that you're here. So now you're not fighting with it. You're understanding it. You're getting better connected with yourself and why you think the way you do. Hey, I thank you for showing up. I thank you for trying to keep me safe. But then you're going to reassure it. I am safe. I am no longer a little girl. I am no longer in a position to where I can't stand up for myself. I can protect myself. I'm good. I'm safe. Whatever it is that you're battling with internally, speak directly to that thing and let it know that all is okay. Everything's good. And then before you know it, you'll get to a point to where the voice changes. The voice starts to trust you. The voice starts to believe you because you've practiced telling it that it's safe to do so. After you do that, you have to reframe it. That's the fourth step. Reframe whatever that tells you, I'm not really good at anything. You have to talk back to it. You've done the first three steps, and now you're saying, I know I felt that way because I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. But if those mistakes haven't done anything, they have taught me a lot. I am wiser. I'm smarter than I've ever been. I've learned from every situation, good, bad, or indifferent. And because of the life I've lived, because of the things that I've experienced, I'm not only smart, I'm wise. I am wise. Wise people don't just make smart decisions. They make great decisions. They make the right decision at the right time for the situation that is at hand. I'm wise. You have to talk to yourself. You have to believe it. Tell yourself these things. So let me look back at my steps. We have acknowledged it, we've thanked it, we've reassured it, everything's okay, and we've reframed it. And then the last step, repeat. You've got the steps down. You know how to deal with a negative self-talk. So the next time it happens again, you just start all over. Oh, I see you. I hear what you're saying. I acknowledge that you're there. Thanks for showing up. I know when you show up, it's because you're trying to protect me from something, but I can reassure you that I am okay. All is well. And you think this or you're feeling that, but that's really not accurate. The truth of the matter is, I'm really good at blah, blah, blah. Or if I'm not good, I can learn it. I can tap into people who know it, and I am capable of learning whatever it is I need to learn. So you got to talk back to yourself. And I mean in real time. Don't let that thing fester. As soon as you acknowledge that that thought is there, start running through those steps. Thanks for showing up, but I'm good. And then you reframe whatever that negative thought is right then and there so that you can push that thing aside and keep moving towards your goal. Otherwise, it's like shackling yourself. You're shackling yourself to your past. You're shackling yourself to your insecurities. You're shackling yourself to old messaging that may have been messaging that you created to try and understand your world. It may be messaging that other people spoke into your life, but you know it's not good for you. It's the thing that's standing between you are here. That star on the directory, you are here. But the store that you want is way over there. You can have a clear path to that store because you know where you're starting from and you've just got to get from point A to point B. But what happens? You've got something standing right here telling you that you can't get there. There's nothing in that store that you deserve. That store is not for people like you. As soon as you go in, they're gonna follow you around the store because they don't even believe that you can afford what's in there. And before you know it, you've talked yourself into, you're not even here anymore. Your star is here because that's where you started, but you've worked yourself up so you've had such a negative interaction with yourself that you're way back here. You've actually retreated from your starting point. And we don't ever want to do that. So that's why once you acknowledge that it's there and you know that you're here, you go to work right there, right then and there, dealing with that voice, acknowledging it, thanking it, reassuring it, and then most importantly, reframing it, rewriting it, changing it, transforming it, whatever word works for you. This is where you take whatever you're hearing in here and you flip it on its head and you say, no, I understand why you feel that way. We had some bumps along the way, but those bumps made me better. And here's how I'm better. And then you keep speaking that. And the other thing about speaking, I would encourage you to, on your mirror, right by your face when you're standing there and brushing your teeth, have 3 or 4 positive affirmations or more. It could be 1, it could be 1,000, whatever works for you. But I need you to have some positive affirmations that you see first thing in the morning. It's called habit stacking. We all have the habit of brushing our teeth first thing in the morning because we learned that as little people as soon as we got teeth. As soon as our teeth came in, we were taught how to take care of them, and you start to brush them every morning, first thing in the morning. So you know that's going to happen. Typically, we're standing in front of a big mirror when we do it. So right there, write some positive things about yourself and read them, even if it's just in your head as you're brushing your teeth. That's called habit stacking. You take a new habit and attach it to a habit that you already have so that that new habit becomes a recurring automatic action, just like the first one. Stack those 2 things together. So as you're brushing your teeth, you're reading what's on that card. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am the best and highest version of myself. I can accomplish whatever it is that I want to accomplish. I deserve the things that I want to accomplish. You speak to you. Those are some of the words that I have. I should have worn my shirt today. I actually created a shirt. I am enough. I am worthy. I am loved. And those are the types of things that you need to speak to yourself about yourself all the time. but you definitely want to start your day with it and you want to end your day with it. And throughout the day, if you find yourself getting triggered, remind yourself of just who you are, how special you are, how deserving you are, how capable you are. If you start to have those types of conversations with yourself, your mindset will be talk will be subdued and it will get it will go from a critic to an advocate. You will be your own best advocate and you will be able to immediately start to pump yourself, cheer yourself on. It's need to put one foot in front of the other, even when life is telling you not go there. You're deaf. You're asking for more than you deserve. Immediately recognize that for what it is. It's fear showing up in some form or another. It's anxiety showing up in some form or another. That negative self-talk is rooted in something. It could be rooted in trauma. There's a lot of trauma, walking trauma around all the time. I was listening to a lady speak a couple of weekends ago, and she was I think she was a licensed, she was a counselor, and she was talking about being trauma informed. And trauma doesn't mean that you know everything that somebody's been through. It means just the opposite. When you're trauma, realize that people are going through this. We don't see, we have no idea thing to walk up and cast on your arm. You immediately know that person has had some kind of physical trauma and their bone has been broken. And you can empathize with that. But we walk around with brokenness on the inside every day. Somebody that's next to you in the line at the grocery store, passing by you in their car, you never know what that individual is really dealing with. So when you're trauma informed, you're coming from that standpoint. I have no idea how hard of a day this person is having. I have no idea how hard of a life they may have had. So I am making the decision to not add to it. So yes, she cut me off in line. I'm not a pushover, but I'm also not gonna throw fuel on fire. I'm not gonna make a bad situation worse. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, Kim said I was breaking up. Are you guys able to hear me okay? Kim, you might type the last thing that you heard and I'll try to repeat it. I was just talking about being trauma informed, which means that you go through life assuming that you don't know what the other person has been through. We typically do the opposite of that. We take our experiences, how we feel about something, how we would respond to it, and then we put that on everybody else. We expect them to be and act and behave the same way that we do. And then we also expect them, is that health driven? Oh, health driven. Welcome. Thank you for being here. We expect that people will act and respond the way we act and respond. And sometimes before they've even had a chance to do something, say anything, we've already assumed that they would behave the way we do. So we start to act as if they've done it. And we just get into this cycle. We just get into this cycle of just trauma and re-trauma, hurting and re-hurting, acting on autopilot and not even realizing what we're doing. So be trauma informed. That all something and we don't know each other's story. Give yourself first grace and then give it to the rest of the world. If we all have boundaries and we have to protect those. I'm not saying that just allow people to treat you any kind of way. No, your boundaries are important and you want to protect them. But sometimes it's the smallest thing and we're ready to blow up and we have no idea why that person is in the space that they're in, why they're behaving the way that they are. So we want to get into the practice of giving grace, starting with ourselves. So that's it, guys, for this Transformation Tuesday. You're welcome, Health Driven LLC. I see Alicia is on, Kim is on. If you guys catch this on replay, #replay, and let me know that you were here, and I will take a look later and respond to your comments. I appreciate everybody joining in. And guys, I always want it to be a conversation. If something that I've said resonates with you, give me a thumbs up or like the video. Let me know what's going on. And if something doesn't resonate, I'm just as interested in that. Drop me a line and say, hey, I heard you say this. What do you really mean by that? Or I don't agree with that. I think it's this way. And we can have a conversation. That's how we all get better. I am not the person who has all the answers. I'll tell people quickly, I don't even know all the questions. So I definitely don't have all the answers. I just show up every morning around 7 a.m., with the exception of Thursdays. I'm on at noon, and I share what I have experienced. And I share how I've gotten over some of the things that I've gotten over. And it's my sincere hope that what I'm sharing will resonate with somebody and they can go, hey, I'm going through that, or I've experienced that and I just can't shake it. And something that I say will give them hope, give them an idea, give them some kind of a technique to get through it. That's okay, Bridget. You'll catch the replay. And so that's what it's all about, is really trying to share my life experiences in hopes of shortening the rough cycle that somebody might be in. I had to go through what I had to go through, but I didn't waste any of those experiences. I actually learned from them. Maybe not in real time. I may have had to go back and really think about some things and see the gift in it. Good morning, Karen. But I learned from every experience. And I'm grateful that I was given a transparent spirit. I don't have a lot of shame attached to really anything that I've experienced. So it makes it easy for me to talk about it. So my talking about it, it feels good to me. It makes me feel like it wasn't wasted, and it gives me hope that somebody else can take it and use it and better their existence in some way. So that is my hope for you guys. Happy Transformation Tuesday. Leave those comments and messages, and I will definitely respond. You guys have a great day. Thank you.